Hi. I literally just got out of work. Not like right this second, but I mean, where I have time to sit down and record. So I worked this morning, got home. Me and Ava ate. She had the sniffles. She does not have a cold. It's like sinus, whatever. She's all right. She's alive. She's just been a little crabby. So I fed her good. And then Vinny, our neighbor, he came over to play with Ava, so they were watching TV and stuff. I got dishes and stuff done while they were chilling. And then they both wanted a cookie. I gave Vinny his cookie right away. I made Ava eat a plate of carrots and ranch first, and now she's having her cookie downstairs, and she's chill. She's in, we have a comfy sack beanbag. It's like memory foam. It's really cozy. She's in that downstairs. I'm upstairs right now in my room. Anyways, paying it forward and just being a good person is mainly what my video is going to be. My videos basically are about just like good vibes. So, trying to remember the day exactly. I don't write stuff down all the time. I'm busy. I just go with the flow. But when I do get something that I feel like I really need to pay attention to, I do write it in my notes on my phone so I could look that up later. But I don't always write down like date and time things happened. So roughly about 2 days ago, I was at the dollar store with Ava. We were going to buy craft stuff to decorate our deck for Easter and spring. So I wanted to just get a bunch of stuff that we could do together. Craft time keeps her busy, and I enjoy it too, and it's for our house. So it's one way if you're looking for ways to busy your toddlers, do stuff like that. I had extra planters, the pottery ones, okay, and I'm gonna have her paint a couple of them. And I kind of like the clean looking white is what I'm going for on mine. Our house is blue and has white detail, so I figured I'd turn those pots white. So I'll have Ava, she's 4, it's so crazy to even say that now, but she is going to paint them all white. We did make a wreath that I should show you guys, of a bunny, and we used like sticks for the whiskers. We use Easter eggs, like cut them in half with different colors for the ears. The ribbon is wrapped around cardboard, and it looks really cute. So I'll have to show that when I'm doing that. Yeah, well, when my deck's done, maybe I'll show you guys. It's fun. I like doing crafty stuff like that. Anyways, when I was there was a young boy, about 10 years old, came up to me and asked me if I could buy him some snacks. And I was like, sure, depends. I was like, how much snacks do you want? I'm thinking like gummy bears and stuff. And you guys, he had me follow him. And at first I was like a little on alert because I noticed that it was 6 p.m. and the dollar store I chose to go to had like one of those police scan things. And usually they don't put those there unless there's like, trouble actively, like there's active trouble, like a lot of traffic or something. There has to be a reason why that's there. Okay, so that already put me on an alarm spot. So I'm like, oh great, it's already dark and I'm here with Ava, and they have one of those stupid things, which means that there's probably people here who like to pick cars or rob people. So I go there, and then there's this kid who's asking me to go with him down this aisle so he could show me some snacks so I could buy it for him. And I'm like, okay, like I'm a nice person, but I'm not naive either. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to follow him, but I'm going to do whatever, I'm with Ava. I'm going to defend my baby. And then guys, he literally grabbed a box of Hamburger Helper. And I looked at him and I was like, this is what you want? He's like, yeah. He goes, it'd be cool if you could buy me 2 of them. And I was like, I understand you want this, but you're also going to need milk and you're going to need meat. I said, do you want me to walk down to Kroger with you? It's a little grocery store over here. And you should have saw his eyes, man. That's what he wanted. Whew. I went and paid for his stuff. I gave him extra money to go buy himself groceries. I went back to shopping for Easter stuff with Ava, and I just felt like grateful that I could still do that, and that I was there doing that with my kid, and there was a kid that was hungry. And one thing I always pray for is like, God, you send me whoever needs my light, you know, send me him. Anyone that wants to harm me, keep them away, Lord. But anybody that you need me to help in any way, you send them to me. And I believe 1,000% that God sent me that young boy, and that young boy felt safe enough to ask me for help. When he was done, he stopped in with his groceries. I was paying at the cash register to go out. I walked around with baby girl. We like to walk and look and talk and spend time together. So by the time I got to the cash register, he was at the door. He wanted to show me the food that he got. Hugged him, and he took off on his bike. Before I get comments or anything rude, I was poor growing up, and I remember being in court and them wanting to take me away from my mom and dad. And the judge asked, you know, what I felt. And I said, if you're taking me away from my mom and dad because they don't have a home, I said, where are you going to take them to give them a home? Like, how come you can't give my mom and dad a home? I remember it stunned the judge, and the judge didn't know what to say. And I told him I wouldn't be happy without my mom and dad. You can give me a house and lots of toys, but I wouldn't be happy without my mom and dad. Like, my mom and dad may not be perfect, but they love me. And regardless of our circumstances, they never left me. They never abandoned me. And I know it's hard to forgive our parents for the things that they've done in their lives, or because we see how they fail, we see how they whatever. But think about how many times you failed, that you didn't get a good grade, or that you didn't know how to ride a two-reeler, in one day. It took you a couple of times on your training wheels. It didn't matter, a lot of the time our parents looked past those things. And that's what made us walk. That's what made us talk. We didn't just know how to talk or speak. We didn't know, we were taught those things. We don't give enough credit to our parents sometimes. And that's where, the loving relationship, if you can have a relationship with God to understand how to be as a person, once you understand how God sees you and you start to see life that way, you realize that our parents are God. We don't give them the credit. We could be very hard on them. We can say that the reason why we are the way we are is because of our parents. And we take no credit for the bad things. We don't want to take the credit for that. If you become a liar, if you're a liar, a person who has a hard time telling the truth in your life, and you say, oh, it's because my mom and my dad did, but you knew that it didn't make you feel good. You could have chosen to be the complete opposite of that, but you're still responsible for how you turned out. And sometimes it's hard, and we want to lean on childhood trauma. It's because, and as an excuse to not change or to be a better person. And I'm not saying that your parents are God, or that your neighbor is God, or that your teacher is God, or that your coach is God, or that the president's God, or the Pope is God, or it's just as to look as so far as perfection. Like, we have that idea of perfection, being unflawed. Like, if we desire to be the best of ourselves, the world ultimately would just be a better place. But sometimes we fall into this state of pride because we're so afraid of seeing ourselves in spite of it all. Because that's the thing is when we're hard on ourselves, this is where it comes in a little. When we're hard on ourselves, could think we're ugly. We could think we're worthless. We cannot think we're not good. We're not good enough. We feel like we're not good enough to accomplish certain things, or to have certain things, or to have certain people, or to have a certain status or a position or whatever. Okay. We could be so hard on ourselves in that aspect, and then in tune, God's like, you can have whatever you want, whatever you desire. It's like your kids never believing that they're good enough for you, and you love them more than anything on this planet, and just them being them is simply enough. So it drives you crazy. You have this tug of war with a child who can't see what you see as perfection. Think of God in that aspect. Someone so loving that they love you beyond you loving you. They wouldn't put you what you put yourself through. And the sooner you start to realize that, the more in heaven you can be. People wait to die and don't know how to live, when our gift is life. I'm not saying that death isn't going to be a beautiful thing. Death is peace. Death is an infinite. Death is energy. It's constant. It's all around us, and it's in us. It's like the number 0 is, if it loops around, it's infinite. It means nothing, but yet everything. It can add value to things that were just by itself. It's God. God is in every moment. Sorry. I don't want anyone to not think that they're not loved, because if you start to surrender to this life that we have and understand what life is, it needs to be alive. It needs to have the opportunity to care for something, to care, to love, to feel, to touch, to hold. We have the ability to do all of those things. It's a beautiful thing. I wouldn't want to exist and not be able to participate, you know? So we can't let ourselves fall into that. I don't know why I went all in there, but maybe someone needed to listen to that. I never really come in here super planned. I just come in here with a few things I wanted to point out. You know what the great blessing too was? As I spent that money, as a stay-at-home mom at the beginning, and then I started working. I didn't have a lot of extra money to go on, and then I was really poor too. Money just almost stresses me out. I always just have God provide for me, you know, in some capacity, by sending me people that I need, by sending me resources that I need somehow. He knows, and it's always random. It's so random, you know. So when I have it, I give it, because if that was my baby, I hope someone would help her. For real. We have to be like that. If you can give even just a little and you see someone needs it, you do it. You know, if that's God's testing you, he's going to bless you. And you know what, it was even crazier is I went to go to gymnastics. I always call it gymnastics, ballet. Daughter's not in gymnastics, she's in ballet. But anyways, she was at one point. But anyways, I went to go change her bag into her little Rapunzel bag, and I found $11 in there. I hadn't used that bag in at least 3 weeks, almost a month. Yeah, so I was pretty excited about that. And then I went to go do laundry, dry my clothes. My washer's working, my dryer's out. So yeah, it's always something. So it was first my washer, now it's my dryer. So I washed my clothes here, and then I took them to the dryer, and then bam, I found $3 in my dryer. It must have been in someone's pocket or something, but either way, the guy was like, you can keep it, it's yours, finders keepers. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. So I got $3. So that's 14 bucks. They were 14 bucks. I was like, what in the world? I just had 14 bucks here. Like, I don't know. It's just money falling from heaven. And then, yeah, unbelievable. And then today I had a really good day at work. Nothing but positive vibes. Leaving, I got Ava, Vinny came to play over here, and yeah. Sorry, Bentley's being so gross, like chewing on something that just sounds so gross. But anyways, when I was with my husband, though, yesterday, I kept seeing 744. And then came across this article. It's called christianbiblestudy.org. I'll try to put a link in underneath there, but at least I'm talking about it. So if you're watching it and you want to go look for it. And it's for number 744. And it says, and those who are with him are called chosen and faithful. And it says this symbolically means that people who turn to the Lord and worship him alone are those who go to heaven. But those concerned with external elements of the church and those concerned with internal and innermost elements. Those who are with him symbolize people who turn to the Lord, for they are the people with him. Those who are called chosen and faithful symbolize people who are concerned with the external elements. I'll kind of go through this. I'm just reading, so sorry. And the inmost elements of the church who begin in the Lord go to heaven. The call indeed mean all people because all have been called, but the called who are with the Lord means people who are in heaven with the Lord, as all those are called who are present at the wedding of the bride and groom. And then the chosen does not mean that you are chosen by predestination, like by birth, like, oh, I was chosen because I was born into, like kings, queens, princesses, or whatever. Or, but by people who are with the Lord are so called. So if someone says, like, I'm called, I believe in the Lord, they are so called by the Lord because, yeah, okay, you understand. And then to be faithful means that people who have faith in the Lord. So you could be called and you could say, hey, I believe in the Lord or whatever, but you aren't necessarily abiding or trying to be a better person, and you're doing things on your own means. So that's why you would be called. And then you're not necessarily faithful. Faith is believing without evidence. And faith also means that you trust in God's word for his people. So if you believed in the things that God said, then you would be obedient to his orders because you understand the repercussions for you swaying or straying beyond his. It's putting your faith in the Lord, putting your life in his hands, in essence. So that's what it means to be faithful. Okay. And it says these are the people who are concerned with the external, internal, and the inmost. Okay. So it's all three Trinity triangles. So think of that as like your little pyramid. Okay. So to get closest to the Father, the God, you would have to be a faithful servant. You would have to show up for him. You would have to communicate with him, believe in him, be guided by him, live with him on an innermost level. Okay, this isn't just about going to church. It's about developing a actual relationship where you are with him. And faith is hard sometimes when you're relying so much on evidence and you're always wanting a sign. And there are people that are like, oh, signs. He goes days and days and days and days without talking. I'm in constant communication with my Father. He never leaves me. He's a constant. As long as you are alive, he is there. In what ways can we understand how he speaks to us? Sometimes we would get startled if he showed up to us in person or if we heard his voice. You know what I mean? So He may do it in a more gentle way by like shining the light in your window on you so you can feel the rays as you're going through a thought and an emotion in your process. Just acknowledging the light that's shining within you there is letting you know that he is listening. Feel what that light does to you. Is it making you feel comfortable? Is it making you aware of something? What is it doing to you? Is it making you warmer? Is it making you cry? Is it making you stop crying? Is it making you feel calm and clear-minded? What is the sun trying to do to get your attention? It's not just angel numbers and synchronicities. It's in all kinds of things every day. The robin at your window. Have you been seeing black birds a lot lately? Or have you been seeing red ones? Don't think that things are just merely coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. Just try to be a good person. Don't be too hard on yourself. Okay? No one's in competition of who God likes more. He loves each and every single one of his creations. Rather, the next person or the next disagrees with that. Everyone's on their absolute own journey. Okay? Not everyone's going to like the color pink, and not everyone's going to like the color purple. And I have nothing against those two colors, but you understand my reference. We're different. So they're talking here about how there are 3 levels to heaven. And understanding what these words are pertaining. So when people are saying, you know, I'm faithful, they also, being a faithful person too and having a relationship with the Lord doesn't mean that you necessarily feel called to just completely speak on it. Some people are very private about their practices. You know, it depends on where you are in your spiritual journey. I think it's a great way to talk and communicate about things, but I understand that it could be a very personal thing. So that's something you have to, you know, do on your own in your own time. These are people who are concerned with external, internal, and innermost elements of the church, because the Lord's church is like heaven distinguished into 3 degrees. In the lowest degree are people concerned with its external elements. In the 2nd degree, it's people who are concerned with its internal ones. Okay, so if we use this as a physical church, we could say that the pastor, and I'm not saying all pastors, listen, you could be a pastor who's faithful, that follows the Lord, that lives by the Lord, that communicates with the Lord, that can call on pure, you can absolutely. But let's say we had a lukewarm pastor, and all he cared about was about the external. So he cared about like the building, what it looked like, how he looked like in this building. He liked to be the macho, the head honcho. It doesn't mean that he's necessarily a bad person. He just enjoys the outer, you know, praise. Maybe he enjoys the praise that he gets in the outer element. Then in the 2nd degree, you have people that are concerned with the inner elements. You have people that are concerned with how the other people in church are feeling, the counseling, the people that do prayer. They're concerned about helping other people, the healers. Okay. And then in the 3rd degree is the inmost ones. So the inmost ones is even more of a counseling, but a spiritual counseling. So, okay, you have a counselor and a doctor. They're not religious, but they believe in medication, therapeutic exercises, but they don't believe in a source. They just can knock it down to scientific things. And a person that counsels learns how to speak to people and they see results, so they feel like that is so. So you have that. That would be someone who's working on the innermost. They're going to pray for you so you get better. They know that by saying these good words to you is actually going to lift some of that stress off, and you're going to actually feel better. So they'll have different prayers and stuff that they can do to help you feel better in your life, to help you keep going. Now you have the head, which is the person who's actually faithful, the person who develops a relationship with source, person that can see spirits, a person that could perform exorcism, a person that could provide healing on a spiritual level. These are people that can cure cancer through prayer, not just because it's a counseling thing, but because there's they have the innermost knowledge. They actually understand that we are spirits, that spirit is here, that we are all that are on this like little plug-in of life, of just barely understanding that God is real, that we are real, like this is heaven. How is it that we can get to that heaven mindset? How is it that we can go about our day and encounter nothing but good people? How is that possible that some people can live on this frequency and some people can live all the way down here? Like, how is it that we can help these people come to heaven, come to a place of free mind, clearing up space? You know, why is it that people look at 9-to-5 jobs so negatively? Like, would they not understand that even if they tried to run their own restaurant, that they would still need a cook? They would still need someone to do dishes at their restaurant. They would still, you know what I mean? Like, sure, it'd be nice for you to be an entrepreneur and work by yourself, but wouldn't you eventually want to make more money and enjoy your job and see how you progress? And if you had a lot of clientele buying your clothes, like, wouldn't you need the help of somebody sewing more product for you? You know what I mean? Like, how we gonna grow? We all grow together, and these 9-to-5 jobs are people like you and me that started something and their company grew and they're selling other people's merchandise. Like, that's all it is, you know? And then they hire people to scan this stuff out because so many people want their product. Like, yeah, start your own businesses, but also learn how to work together, learn how to function together, learn how to raise each other's frequencies. You're already up here. Okay, humble yourself. Remember when you were down there? You don't want to be down there again, right? So don't let them drag you up. Pull them up. Pull them up. Pull them up. Show them how they can be better. Show them how to do better. You don't like the way that she's folding jeans? Show her. He's slow. He's not making that sandwich good. Instead of insulting him on the line and making him look bad in front of other customers, apologize to your customers. Let him know, hey, I'm sorry about the wait. I'm sorry about the inconvenience. He's new. Let me help him out. And even if he isn't, help him out. Doesn't matter where you are. It just upsets me, though, when people seem so ungrateful. Thank you for the 9-to-5. There are people that are still walking to a river to go get water. Okay? Things are expensive. They are. They're not cheap. NIPSCO's not cheap. Gas isn't cheap. The clothes, the underwear, the socks my kid grows in and grows out of is not cheap. Life's not cheap. You have a dog, there are vet bills. Come on. Should I keep going? You need to learn how to, like, work together 100%. And stop acting like a 9-to-5 job's the worst thing to do. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you are serving someone else. So find something that you like to do. So find some way you like to make people feel good and do that for a living. If you don't like to work in a restaurant, then don't work there. Don't. Go find something you like to do. You literally have nothing you like to do. That sucks for you. It sucks for you. Being serious. All right, well, we're gonna end it. I'm going on 28 minutes, y'all. We're gonna end it here because this is the Bible verse that he had given me, and I was like, what is this? Listen, like I said, I don't read the Bible like front to back. I can't tell you all the verses of the Bible and all that, but this is what he gave me. I heard it clear as day in the car. Proverbs 8. Thank you. Did you eat your cookie? Did you eat your cookie?
I did not.
All right, bring it up here if you didn't eat it. If you didn't eat it, I'll give you this, but if you ate it, you gotta wait. Did you eat your cookie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't.
All right, bring it up here.
But I can't see it.
Oh, it's on the little brown table. I love you. She wants to see you guys. I love you. Okay, anyways, really quick, I'm gonna read you Proverbs 8. I'm not gonna open the suckers until I see the cookie. Sorry. She wants a sucker, but I told her if she ate the cookie, she's not having a sucker, so she's only having one. Okay. Does not wisdom call out? Does not understanding raise her voice? At the highest point along the way, where the paths meet, she takes her stand. Beside the gate leading into the city. At the entrance, she cries aloud. To you, O people, I call out. I raise my voice to all mankind. You who are simple, gain prudence. You who are foolish, set your hearts on it. Listen, for I have trustworthy things to say. I open my lips to speak what is right, and my mouth speaks what is true, for my lips detest the wickedness. All the words of my mouth are just, and none of them are crooked or perverse. To the discerning, all of them are right. They are upright to those who have found knowledge. Choose my instructions instead of my silver, knowledge rather than my choice. Gold, for wisdom, is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare with her. I, wisdom, dwell together with prudence. I possess knowledge and discretion. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance, evil behavior and perverse speech. Counsel and sound judgment are mine. I have insight, I have power. Be my kings, reign, and rulers issue decrees that are just. For me, princes govern, and nobles, all who rule on earth. I love those who love me, and those who seek me find me. With me are riches and honor, enduring wealth and prosperity. My fruit is better than fine gold. What I yield surpass choice silver. I wait in the way of righteousness, along the paths of justice, bestowing a rich inheritance on those who love me, and make their treasures full. The Lord brought me forth as the first of his works, before his deeds of old. I was formed long ages ago, at the very beginning, when the world came to be. When there were no watery depths, I was given birth. When there were no springs overflowing with water, before the mountains were settled in place, before the hills, I was given birth. Before he made the world or its fields, or any of the dust of the earth, I was there when he set the heavens in place, when he marked out the horizon on the face of the deep, and when he established the clouds above, and fixed securely on the fountains of the deep. When he gave the sea its boundary, so the waters would not overstep its command, and when he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was constantly at his side. I was filled with delight day after day, rejoicing always in his presence, rejoicing in the whole world and delighting in mankind. Now then, my children, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Listen to my instructions and be wise. Do not disregard it. Blessed are those who listen to me, watching daily at my doors, waiting at my doorway. For those who find me find life and receive favor from the Lord, but those who fail me harm themselves. All who hate me love death. And do you know, basically, that's it. It's so foolish to be so upset with the one thing that gives us life every day. Our creation, the very reason for our existence. Going against that is loving to be away from life. And as long as I'm alive, I'm always going to want to desire more life, more air, more sun, more love. Anything that's going to ignite me. And there are people that, sometimes they feel ignited being rebellious, but at the end of the day, anyone who's a true rebel understands that comes with a heaviness of feeling misunderstood and feeling alone and feeling lost and feeling angry. Because the truth is when it's okay to be different and respect people, But there comes a point where we get so caught up in just trying to be right in ourselves and trying to prove others wrong that we lose out on having a relationship with people and just loving people in spite of being different. Why do you have to be right? Why do you have to be wrong? Why does there have to be a right or a wrong? Why can't we love each other? Why can't you live in that house down the street and I live here? No, you're not having any. End of discussion. Sorry. And we be friends.
That's annoying.
But no more. Come here. Sit down. Let's go.
Yeah, sit down.
Let's go. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, no chocolate.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Just why can't we, agree to disagree sometimes? You're right. I see your point. But this is how I'm going to live because the truth is you don't have to live your life like somebody else. And if they want to live their life like that, then that's on them. We can't save everybody. Doesn't matter what career you have. It doesn't matter if you're called or chosen or whatever. The only person you can save is yourself. And it doesn't mean to be selfish. It means to love each other in spite of it all. And it's hard. But that's the whole thing Jesus was doing on there. Like, Dad, I get it. They're killing me. They're murdering me. They don't believe in you. But love them anyway. Have mercy on them anyway. And can you imagine having a kid, getting beat up all the time by bullies and getting teased all the time? The whole time your son's like, Mom, don't worry about it. Mom, leave them alone. Mom, they're only like this because, they don't have a mom and dad like I do. It's hard because there are lots of people who have kids that are so humble, and you know that when you come from nothing, sometimes that's the most humble kids. They're so loving, they're excited by little things, they're easy to please. They're empathetic because they see their parents struggling to keep food on the table. Hard times, it forms character for sure, but you don't want to have a bad character in life. If you're not a good person, people aren't going to want to be around you, and bullying yourself or trying to manipulate or control, it's not going to ever amount to what actual love can do. Instead of being afraid of it, I say jump into love. I cannonball into love. Cannonball! Yeah. Me, I get a little nervous when I do the whole, toe tipping. It takes me forever to get in the dang pool. Like, I love you, Dad! Whoop! I told my husband I loved him after the second date. I said it to him twice before he said it back to me. It came out like word vomit. I liked him. I couldn't stop thinking about him. I was like, I love you. I love you. I want to hang out with you all the time. I want to see you. I love you. I'm being serious. Just jump into it. We need to jump into love. Jump into love. Stop being so hesitant or you'll never do it. Just jump into it. Go love somebody. Call somebody you love. Let them know you love them. Let the people know at work that you appreciate them. Okay? All right. Say I love you.
Love you. Bye.